Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this task and don't ask why.
So, this is a manly call. Vice's Daddy 007. Or one might call me as Whitebeater76. Oh, might be my gamer tag on Microsoft Windows if you ever find me. Anyway, one might say I'm Zach's father, but it's a little complicated. Either way, I'm going to tell a great story about how Zach hit my first car while my brother was driving. Let me explain. So, my older brother, he and I had this 2002 Subaru Tribeca, very off-brand, very crappy. We used it as a beater car before it exploded pretty much, where the entire drive mechanism destroyed and whatever on the Highway 494. Either way, get that out of the way. One day, we're in our neighborhood, my brother and I. My brother's driving, we're listening to tunes on our stinking iPod, because that's all our car could run, an iPod. Couldn't handle an iPhone. But anyway, we're going down our hill, going through our neighborhood. Everything's fine. And we go to a stop sign, and we have to wait for traffic and whatever. I look to my right, and I see Zach walking up the hill on his phone, wearing a hoodie and a wintertime beanie in the middle of 80 degrees in July. And I'm thinking, what is this kid doing? And he's on his phone, he's playing Pokemon Go, I'm pretty sure. And you know what? If he hits this car, I'm not going to say anything, because one, this car sucks, and two, I'm going to let my brother deal with it. So I didn't care. I just watched Zach, come up. I was waiting for it. Zach somehow manages not to only hit his scooter that he's dragging along the ground, he drags it and hits the front light of our car. Like, he is dragging it on the ground. You have to think about this. And he manages to hit the front light of our car, look over, and manages to hit his shoulder on the mirror of our car. My brother starts screaming obscenities at the top of his lungs, while Zach starts sprinting away. I distinctly remember this, because I was sitting in that front seat thinking, oh, it's going to be a teeny tiny dent. Nah, this is like a bit more Family Feud style of, oh my gosh, children are hitting my car left and right. I'm not going to have a car when I grow up. So, in the end, Zach sprinted home, my brother was pissed off, and me, I didn't give two craps because that car died, and in the end, we got a brand new car for me. Also, if you're still listening to this, please save me. Please save me from my obscenity. My sanity cannot handle AP Lit and composition with pre-calc. It does not make any sense. But if you find me, I'll be in the big house in Michigan, eating Buffalo Wild Wings probably. Yo. Okay, bye.
Hi, this is Kevin.
And this is Priscilla.
And we're here to tell you a story about Zach. So, this was a speech story, and it started on a late night coming home from a speech tournament.
And me and Kevin were sitting next to each other, and Zach was sitting next to this guy named Little A, and they were having this therapy session, and Zach was crying, and it sounded so sad.
Yeah, so me and Priscilla over here, we were conspiring on our side of the bus, and we were really curious to see what was happening.
And then Kevin was like, I think I'm sensing some negative energy on that side of the bus. And so we all resolved that, and then Zach was fine. He was just having a little breakdown session like we all do on a daily basis. So that's our story. Enjoy!
Skibbity toilet. It's Lil A.
It's Henry R. Oh, we'll be Gonzalo Garlock. Okay.
Gonzalo.
Hello, everyone. My name's Gonzalo Garlock. Today, I'll be telling the story of how I first met Zach for the first time in my life. So, it all started on the first ever Math League meet of last year. When we got there, and everyone on the team sat at one table, except for Zach, I decided to sit by Zach, who I have never spoken to in my life, instead of sitting by my other friends at the other table.
He has no other friends.
That's a lie.
Except me.
And I sat down by Zach on the opposite table, and we didn't say a single word to each other.
How sweet.
Until he came in to save the day.
You just said my full name, you dingbat.
Lil A decided to save the day, and he came back. And I knew him, and he knew Zach, so we're all good.
Gucci.
And Zach was actually pretty cool. But then left with the other team to go do his varsity work. So it was just me and Zach left. And this was in 2023, shortly after the release of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, which Zach, if you don't know, is very fond of that franchise.
We saw the movie with him all together.
Zach tells me that we are going to sit at the table and watch FNAF on attackertv.net on his phone for an hour and a half at the math league. And me
Yahoo!
and me being the nice guy I am, I agreed to sit with this random kid for an hour and a half and watch the Five Nights at Freddy's movie on his cellular phone. And we do for about 50 minutes until everyone came back and we had to go. But now Zach is my best friend in the whole world, and he is super cool. So I'm glad that happened.
Skibbity toilet.
Skibbity toilet.
Yoo!
Gonzalo Garlock out.
Lil poop. Hey, Skibbity toilet. It's Lil A.
Turn the mic off.
Skibbity toilets. It's
I don't think it
Lil A.
And it's Gonzalo Garlock.
Today, we're gonna tell you the story of the Inferno sandwich. It's
For
one
sure.
of our favorite stories about Zach. He's so cool.
I love Zach.
I love Zach too. It all started when we were in Duluth for speech, and we went to this restaurant called Grandma's. And we went to this restaurant, and it was super cool. And our dearest friend Zach decided to order.
Do not get the dill bites at Grandma's.
Do
They
not
suck.
get the dill bites. They're so bad. Zach. Ooh, crap, I can't say it. 0 out of 10 would not recommend the dill bites. So we went to Grandma's, and Zach got a sandwich. The Inferno sandwich. But he got the Inferno sandwich minus all the things that make it Inferno. So it was just kind of a sandwich. So you would think, oh, it's just a sandwich. It's not going to do anything.
Wrong.
Wrong. Later that night, I was in a room with Lil Zach for our hotel room, and also our other friend, who we'll just call Sailor. Sailor spent the night singing us his favorite sea shanties and folk songs, while we tried to get him to listen to pop culture music. Didn't work. So then it was in the middle of the night, and at around 5 a.m. I'm sleeping, when all of a sudden I hear Zach, and he's getting up and going to the hotel room bathroom. And I think nothing of it, except then I start to hear some moans and groans coming from the bathroom.
Uh-oh.
Yikers. Well, it turns out that Zach was having explosive poop diarrhea from the Inferno sandwich. And it turns out that it even hurts him without the Inferno part. And it was so bad that I felt the hotel room shake. And suddenly there was an earthquake, and I went, I woke up. And I realized the earthquake is Zach pooping. And so then and then later I had to take a shower in the morning because I had to get all dressed up in my beautiful suit. And I go into the bathroom, and it smelled so bad. Like a bomb of nuclear poop.
Nuclear poop.
Nuclear poop.
I felt the shakes and I wasn't even there.
Gonzalo Gorlock wasn't even
3 hours
there.
away to hear the shakes.
And he was 3 hours away, and he could
Like,
feel the shakes.
A million on the Richter scale.
And I was in
So
the next
that's our
hotel
story
room, I
about
couldn't
Zach.
hear that at all.
And Zach is one of our best friends, and we love him. So, Zach, I love you.
I love you too.
Bye, Queen.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this task and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.